the games I've predicted, there's a lot of similarities, but there's one or two differences. I thought Liverpool PSG was a tough one to predict. I just think the second leg at Anfield, you know what it's like. I mean, that's a special place. A home European tie, a second leg at Anfield. Better teams than PSG. I mean, PSG have been there before. Hasn't happened that often. It's only I think the fourth time that the sides have met in UEFA competitions, 2 wins each. But better teams than PSG have crumbled at Anfield. So I've got the same Liverpool against Villa as you. So this was the difficult one for me because I had Real Madrid winning the whole tournament if they got by Atletico Madrid. And I've just seen enough of Atleti. I pretty much commentating them every single week. And in the Champions League, there is a history, of course. They've met in the final, went to extra time. I've gone for Atletico Madrid, not to win the whole thing, but I just think with the second leg at the Metropolitano against the Real Madrid side, does that sound weird? Picking Atleti, whereas if I'd picked Real Madrid, I would have picked them to win the whole thing.
No, this is a derby. This is a different, this is a unique situation. And derbies, as we know, there's just a different element to them. And then we're talking about a team in Atletico Madrid who, quite frankly, for 89 minutes of the 90 minutes in both games could never see the ball, never see Courtois' eyes, but end up winning the game. Mm-hmm. That's why it's going to be tough for Real Madrid because they know all these things. They know that when they create, they're going to have to take their chances because they know that a side like Atletico Madrid in particular, they don't care. They don't care if they don't see the ball. They don't care if they don't have it. All they care about is winning and how they win. Whether it's great football, skullduggery, they couldn't care less. It's usually skullduggery, and if that's what it takes, then they'll do it again. So yeah, this is really tight, just because of the situation it being a derby.
Something you said earlier, which I thought was spot on. It's the draw that Real Madrid didn't want. I mean, for Atleti, it was them or Bayern, right? You're going to take Bayern ahead of Real Madrid. It's the same choice that Celtic, well, not choice, but Celtic could have had X or Y in the previous round. But it's Real Madrid, and the different thing between Atleti and everyone else in this competition, they don't fear Real Madrid. So I'm going to go them. Let's take a look at the graphic again. I've got them going through to face Arsenal. No surprise, I've got Liverpool beating Aston Villa over 2 legs. Atleti, look, if you're going to beat Real Madrid, I think you can beat an Arsenal side that, again, like you said earlier, I don't know where the goals are. So I've got Liverpool against Atleti in one semi-final. Let's take a look at side 2 of the bracket. So these are the 4 teams I've got going through. The slight difference from you, Stevie, the only difference from you is Lille against Borussia Dortmund. I'm a little bit worried about this one, though, because Borussia Dortmund seem to be the same as Real Madrid when it comes to Champions League. I don't know what happens, but they go into Champions League mode. They were excellent in Lisbon in the first leg against Sporting. But I just think with the second leg at home, I've basically gone for the 8 teams that qualified automatically for the round of 16. And it wouldn't be a surprise, would it, if it was Dortmund that got through or Lille that got through in that one?
No, it really is a toss of a coin. Both sides have obvious weaknesses, and for Borussia Dortmund in particular, I think defensively, Lille can cause them problems. They are sitting in the Bundesliga where they are because they can defend, in my opinion. As usual, going forward, they've got skill, they've got some pace, they've got some goals, but you can't go through the Champions League again because some. Yeah. With a side that couldn't defend to save their lives in the Bundesliga, they can't surely do it 2 years in the trot. So yeah, I don't have a problem with your Lille shout.
Okay, so that's the quarter-final bracket, and the semi-final, no surprise, I suppose, Bayer Leverkusen Inter. I think I've gone the same as you for that one. As we look at the semi-finals, obviously there's the difference because I've got Atleti in there, but our final is not too dissimilar. I've got Liverpool getting through against Atleti, and I've got Barcelona against Bayer Leverkusen. So while you've got a Liverpool-Real Madrid semi-final, I've got a Liverpool-Barcelona final. What chance right now do you think of either one of us being correct as far as the final matchup is concerned? Liverpool, Barca, or Real Madrid, Leverkusen?
Well, judging by our previous attempts at at figuring out, then probably not a lot. Not very good.
Who would you like?
Well, you get two completely different teams in the final than me.
Yeah.
So one of us might be right. Probably both of us will be wrong.
You've got Liverpool against Real Madrid in the semi. I've got Liverpool against Barcelona in the final. What's a tougher game for Liverpool? 2 legs, home and away against Real Madrid, or a one-off against Barca?
Oh, two legs against Real Madrid. Yeah, Real Madrid are capable of destroying anybody. And if you give them 2 attempts at it, then there's a 50-50 chance on one of them they're going to give you a torrid. So I would. You don't want anything to do with Real Madrid in the Champions League. That's the bottom line, and certainly not twice.
So I've got Barcelona beating Liverpool in the final. You've got Real Madrid beating Liverpool in the semi-finals, and then beating Bayer Leverkusen in the final. So I don't know if this is a format that's probably going to be around for a while, because obviously it ties in with the Europa League and the Conference League, and it's a similar format there. If you get some barnstormers and you get some brilliant games between now and the final, and we're left at the Allianz Arena in Munich with a final that we'll never forget, it's just one of those games, whichever 2 teams end up there. Will you come off the fence a little bit and maybe say that it's a format that has been a success, or does it need those type of games between now and the final? Now we know who you're going to be playing if you win, for it to be something that you think, yeah, I can get behind that.
You're going to get behind it anyway, because we're watching football, and you're always going to get good games in cup football, whether it's a one-off game or whether it's a home and away game. And the knockout stages of the Champions League, regardless of the format, is always good to watch. No matter which way you want to spin it or set it up, we always get good games. We've had good games already, and we'll get more good games. That isn't going to change. I'm not so sure I like the first part, but the football's great. It always is good. It always will be good, because we've got great teams and great players. And what's not to enjoy at the end of the day, regardless of whether you like the set up or not. We've all got a different opinion on it. I would prefer it was a blind draw. Plenty of people I've spoken to like the way that you can kind of try and figure out and do what we're doing. Yep. Because I guess if it's a blind draw, we can't talk about who's going to beat who and meet who.